Hey everybody, Meredith here. It is Monday, June 22nd, 2026, and I just wanted to do a quick video on the beauty of marriage. My husband and I are in a place, we're in Michigan, southwest Michigan, where we live, and we are so blessed to have a bazillion, okay, not a bazillion, but a bunch of hikes. And we just hiked out to Lake Michigan, and it was beautiful. We went up lots of dunes and then did a long walk on the beach. And it's funny because I had this like 5 mile hike mapped out on some hiking loop, and the app wasn't working. And my husband's like, let's just go this way, because the pathway was, we could see Lake Michigan and the pathway was going down these dunes, and I could see it going off the map on the trail map. And it made me think about marriage and kind of submitting to your husband, and how many people are freaked out by that, and how it's such a beautiful thing. Because like, it kind of was a symbolism of like our life together. Like, we're a team, we're in this life together. I had some errands to run, and I'm kind of like, we were just talking about how, we could spend our anniversary at Target, or we could go on a walk in nature, take in the beach, take in the quiet, and pick up rocks, which is our favorite thing to do. And that's what we did. But the beauty is that I let him lead. And yeah, I lead a lot of women. I am a leader, but my husband leads our home. And I'm not afraid at those times when he's like, no, let's go this way, because he leads our home well. And I don't know, we're celebrating 13 years, and he's just an amazing husband. And I really think a big part of it is because we both went through hell before we met each other. Just a lot of, having to face everything of who we've been, who we were, and, all of our baggage, all of our struggles. And I think it just makes us so in tune. And really the thing that makes us most in tune is God at the center of our lives. And the more we build our lives on Him, the better our life gets. And I'm happy to hear in our society today that there are young women that are wanting to get married, that are wanting to have kids. It truly is a beautiful thing. There are very good men out there. So don't give up if you're still looking for the right one. But also don't believe the lie that, you don't, why get married? Don't believe it's such a beautiful thing to be married in a covenant with God. And just represent Him to the world in your marriage. And it's not easy. We were just I took a break when we got getting ready to come back, and I was talking about how we had, like, what has the 13 years of our life, last 13 years been? And we've been through a lot. Losing his dad, infertility, having a baby, like all of these things. Like, we moved, we sent 2 kids to college, just a lot of things. Just like that just happen in life. But never once did we think, oh, I can't do this with you. We enjoy each other, and we love the time we spend together, and I cherish it because, when you have littles in the house, I talked about this last week, you don't get the alone time together. And Ellie's at a camp today, and he's about to head out and do an RV transport probably tomorrow. And I just finished my book, my last read through of my book, which I'm very excited about. It's not just the book, it's really the ministry too. And so I took a breather today just to let it all out and let God in. And here he comes, and he does not like to be in my videos. Here he comes. He's gonna hide from my video. Oh, there he is. So it's just been I was just talking about how nice it is to be married, and how marriage is a beautiful thing. It is. And how we went through a lot before we met each other. And
yes, we have.
You need to make sure that the man you meet is, what is it, what is it called? The Bible talks about it being equally yoked. But to me, it's also like that, spiritually yoked, wanting to seek the Lord together, knowing you can't do it without the Lord. And
Find a person that's perfectly flawed for you.
yes, I think he said that in his vows. Didn't you say that in your vows? Something like that. Yeah, we don't remember, but he was crying through his, and there was something he said about, I think I have him written down. I need to frame him, but it was something about like, you're perfectly flawed for me. And, if you are looking for Mr. Perfect, I am here to tell you
He's not there.
he doesn't exist. I always say, who's the only perfect one? Jesus. And I hate to tell you, but you're not marrying Jesus. So, let the reins. If you're looking for Mr. Right, let the rein. Don't hold the reins so tight. Loosen them up. And like, man, we always joke about like when I'm driving his pickup, like, who would have thought I would be married to a guy driving a pickup, right? And living in the Midwest and a guy with kids. Like, what do I joke about? Like, oh yeah, when I was a little girl, I dreamed of marrying a guy with kids, but they've been such a beautiful blessing in my life. So just look for the guy who is, equally yoked, and really more than looking for the guy, look for Christ. Look for who he's creating you to be, and then he will put the right guy in your life to complement you. Right?
Well, and if you can't find the right person, maybe you're not looking for the right kind.
Yeah, maybe you're not looking in the right place, or maybe you're looking for Brad Pitt. I don't know. He's not really that good looking anymore anyway. you know, just don't make it about your list or the resume of a guy that you want to be with, right? Like, because he's going to come in a way you did not expect, and he's not going to be wrapped in the bow you think he's going to be wrapped in. And even if you think he's going to be wrapped in that bow, guess what? There's going to be some imperfect things in that package that are going to make it hard sometimes.
FedEx isn't gonna drop them at your door.
Yeah, FedEx isn't going to drop them at your door, and you got to do the work on you, but also you got to be willing to step out and look, like, make yourself available. I think Dr. Phil wrote a book, like, he's not going to deliver the Pizza Hut pizza to your door. And like, I wasn't out hunting for Mike. Like, I literally was like, I'm not dating. And, that's when it was like, what the conversation I had with him the night I realized I liked him, it was like, what in the world? I walked away and I was like, what was that? What was that? And then I found out that he had a crush on me, like, for a long time. And his friends were like, oh, you got to talk to her. I'm like, what? So it just, I know we live in such a, online focused world that you want to meet somebody in real life, and it's not always easy to meet somebody at the grocery store. But, that's why sometimes it is good to connect online. We didn't meet online, but believe me, I did my share of online dating, which was just an experience, which could be a whole other video. So, but we're going to go eat. I just wanted to share that with you on our anniversary. And, after this hike, and there were difficult parts, and it just reminds me about life and marriage. There are difficult days and difficult parts, and we're hiking up sand dunes, it's difficult, but that's kind of why I like hiking with them, because it just reminds me of like what our life is like together. So, all right, guys, have a good one. I'll talk to you soon. Make sure you're following me over on Instagram and TikTok and wherever else. And believe me, I'll be telling you more about the book very, very soon. Want to say bye, hon?
Bye.